to start off.
Okay.
So this is Will Streitberger. Thank you again for hosting us. I'm super excited to debut my new role as the executive director of the Chicago Regional Office, which I was just recently appointed to back in August. So I'm just so proud to serve the veterans of the great state of Illinois, the city of Chicago, all of the counties, and all of the state of Illinois, and come back home. Frankly, I started my career with the VA in Chicago 18 years ago at the very office that I'm now running. So I'm just pleased to be here, and I want to let every one of your listeners know that I'm here to serve them and to listen and understand their needs and to provide them with the solutions they need to live a full and active life as a veteran of the great state of Illinois. And I'm so proud to do that with Morris, who is a great leader in the veteran readiness and employment space, and we're here to answer any questions that you have today.
Fantastic.
That is great.
And both of you have had a very distinguished career.
Exactly.
And so, maybe, Herbert, maybe you can tell us more about what your role is and how you work as the VR&E officer, at the office.
Yes. I've been here for approximately 5 years now. The formerly known as Vocational Rehabilitation Officer, we did some rebranding. We changed our name to be more veteran-centric. So we changed our name now to Veteran Readiness and Employment Program. So my title's now the Veteran Readiness and Employment Officer.
Oh, yes.
So that change happened this past year.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so maybe you can tell us about the programs.
Yeah, please.
So what's available, for vocational rehabilitation and employment programs and services at the VA? What do veterans need to know about that?
Okay, well, the VR&E program is referred to as a Chapter 31 program. It's just entitled Veterans and Service-Connected Veterans with Employment Services. And we assist them in preparing to maintain a job. It also helps entitled transition service members as well.
Yes.
So if you're a service member or veteran with a service-connected disability and not currently able to work, VRE also offers services to help them live as independently as possible. So not just those who can work, but those who can't work, we also assist them in living more independent.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. We just had a group on. We were talking about pain management and suicide prevention programs and at the VA. And this is Suicide Prevention Month, but, your ability to be employed and to deal with your pain effectively, those two things I think are interlinked. And many times veterans are felt abandoned and don't have, access to employment. And that actually can really work on your level of depression and make you, really not feel like you are worth anything.
That's right.
So this actually is building people back up, it sounds like, with the vocational skills and the rehabilitation. And so how does this program work? How does someone get involved with this, or how do they contact you? How do they, get involved in one of these programs?
Okay, well, there's a basic eligibility period. There's a 12-year basic eligibility period for our services. The period begins on the latter of these two dates, the date of separation from active duty, or the date you were first notified of your service-connected disability. So 12 years from that date to be eligible. And as far as who's entitled, active duty service members who expect to receive honorable discharge, obtain a VA memorandum rating of 20% or more, or participate in integrated disability evaluation system or IDENS, or have an injury or illness that prevents them from performing their military duties. So that's for active service members.
Okay.
And go ahead. And as far as veterans, for veterans who have received honorable or other than honorable discharge, have a VA service-connected disability rating of 10% with a serious employment handicap, and the council will determine if you have a serious employment handicap or not, or 20% disability rating, and are determined by VR&E to need rehabilitation.
Huh. Fantastic. Wow. So,
good program.
Yeah. Have you seen an increase since, we have had, the, we had the Gulf War back in 91, but, recently we had a lot of our service members going over to Iraq and Afghanistan, with multiple tours, and many people actually are coming back with things like TBI, traumatic brain injury, and PTSD, or actually physical impairments, losing an arm or a leg. So have you seen an increase in the need for this, or what's your view on what's going on right now with our service members?
Well, we did have an increase, but it kind of fell off a little bit lately. But yes, we did see an increase for a while. And we're doing a lot of things to encourage veterans with disabilities to participate in our program. A lot of them are going to the GI Bill, but if you have a disability, we encourage them to come to our program because we provide all the additional services and guidance they need to help them to be successful to complete the program. It's not just education. We provide guidance, medical referrals, to assist them to make sure they're successful in the program.
Okay. Yeah. And so, right now we have the COVID-19 going on right now, and so how's that affecting your services? With the training and all those kinds of things, is there something that people need to know?
Yeah, so this is Will, and I'd like to jump in on this one.
Okay.
So back in March, of course, the COVID pandemic appeared on the scene, and our veteran readiness and employment services were really brick-and-mortar bound, paper-based, and most of all of the services we provided were in the regional offices. And within 2 weeks, we pivoted to a completely virtual platform where we were able to not skip a beat and provide continuous services to veterans by offering our VA Video Connect telecounseling services. All of our counselors went home and started teleworking. We shifted to a model where all of our mail was actually centralized to our scanning vendors so that we didn't miss a beat, and ensuring that all the evidence or all of the mail and communication that veterans were sending us was provided in a way that was electronically uploaded automatically into their folders. We did centralized printing, and we started scanning all of our paper-based claims processing folders into our electronic folders in our Veterans Benefits Management System. So I just want to call out to all of our staff who so miraculously assisted us in that transition, because we never closed our doors, albeit we did in the brick-and-mortar space, but virtually we continued to serve veterans in a very meaningful way so that they could continue in their programs despite COVID.
Boy, that sounds like a military operation well executed. That is a...
Yeah, we had to make a lot of quick adjustments.
Yes, you did.
I bet you did, because that kind of shocked everybody.
Yeah. I mean, everyone was really caught off guard, and this thing, this sort of came on so quickly and changed our lives, in so many different ways so rapidly. And for you to have been able to be resilient enough to deal with that, that's a kudos to you as a VA, because people, those services are really critical for our veterans who are sitting at home and their families as well. Because when you're treating a veteran, you're also treating a family.
That's true.
That's absolutely right.
Yes.
Listen, normally I give a phone number, but I'm not sure I've got the right one today. Can one of you gentlemen give us a number for somebody who may want to call in and get some additional information?
Okay, they can call the 1-800-827-5600. 1000. And I also have a website that they could contact or log into. www.va.gov/careers-employment/vocational-rehabilitation.
Okay, very good. Okay. And the first one was 1-800-827-1000.
1000.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah.
And as Will was saying, we had to adjust. Most of our services were provided face-to-face, not in a virtual environment, but because of the pandemic, we had to adjust.
Sure.
So now we're doing telecounseling, and VRCs can virtually meet with VAs with all the counseling, utilizing secure video telecounseling. This technology increased our responsiveness to the veterans' needs, reduced travel costs and time for both the veterans and the counselors. So, we're really reaching out to the veterans and keep things we have meant to be. We're still doing the things we need to do to help the veterans.
Yeah, they say necessity is the mother of invention. It sounds like this invention will be around for a while, maybe.
That's right.
Because it sounds like a successful tool. Yes. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, my co-host here, Dr. Arnold, is a Iraqi vet.
Yeah.
And how many people do we have that are really going and participating in, active duty?
Well, we have approximately 1,300 veterans participate in our program right now. Not too many in Illinois on active duty because we don't have a IDES station here. We have VSOCs, which are Vet Success on Campus counselors. And these counselors, pretty much what they do is provide services to all veterans. It doesn't matter if you're in the program or not, on campus to assist veterans with information about benefits or whatever they need to provide assessments and so forth for these guys on campus.
Mm-hmm. Well, you said 1,300 veterans, and when you're talking about that, I was just thinking about how many talents and skills and abilities our veterans have. Even when they're being discharged from the military, many of them come out of the military with, information technology skills, and you name it, mechanical skills, transportation. You name the kind of unit the person's in, aeromechanics. So, that's something that I think employers need to know out there as well, that, once you have this program, you go through the vocational rehab and you start looking at, the things that employment programs can actually foster. You come out with some dynamite employees of the future.
Yeah. Some of the guys that we do have, mainly what we do is retrain them because some of them can no longer do the job they did before because of their service-connected disability. So we retrain them into a new field, a new goal, occupation, and put them back in the workplace. And if they can still do the current job they're doing, then we'll assist them with employment services and help them get a job.
But, one thing is that, even with a disability or with those kinds of things going on, the one thing you don't destroy and they never will destroy is the character, the honor, and the, the abilities that people have of their discipline and how they feel about being connected to employment.
Absolutely.
And so you actually are resurrecting those things that they have within them already. And I really have to applaud you for that. I'm really glad the VA is so focused on this as being a priority for them. And
thank you, Colonel. There's a lot of employers that's looking for that.
Yes.
Colonel, that's so well said, because that's what propels our participants in the program to excellence and to obtaining a positive outcome, is because of that skill set that they bring to the program from the discipline that they've garnered in the military. So that's why we see so many of these amazing men and women who come through our program be so successful and effective in making that transition and overcoming those barriers to employment to have a rich professional career that sustains their livelihood.
Oh, yes, yes. Yes. Well, do you have any success stories, big success stories you want to?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I tell you one?
Yes, you
Certainly,
can.
we'd be happy
right.
to hear that.
Let me tell you a story of success, and that success is my own story. Back right after 9/11, which is 19 years ago yesterday, I lost my job in the private sector after 8 years because of the tragic effects of 9/11.
Yes.
And the industry I was working in evaporated. I was an executive recruiter, and those jobs dried up. So I came into the Veteran Readiness and Employment Program back in 2002. I was single, divorced. I had 3 young girls at the time, and I lost a 6-figure income. No money coming in, the first time ever in my entire life that I lost a job. And I came into this program, and the VA hired me in 2002. And over the past 18 years, I worked my way up to be the executive director of the very program that saved my professional career.
That's amazing.
Long ago in 2002, Jim Benchuk was my vocational rehabilitation counselor. He set me on a path for success. And now today, my most recent job is running the regional office where I started way back 18 years ago when I went through this very program. So I love to consider myself one of the premier success stories because I got the privilege and honor to run the very program at the national level that turned my whole life around.
I can't think of a better person to run the program. My goodness, that is an incredible success story.
Nor could I. Yeah,
that is so incredible.
That is a great success.
And you would think when you're saying that, I was thinking about the old commercial that says, I'm not just a hair club member. I'm a member too.
Yes.
I'm not just the owner.
Right. Hurdle, I didn't know if I could say that on your show. When I'm on the stump, I always say, not only am I the president of the hair club, I'm a member too.
Yeah, member too.
People laugh.
Oh, that's good.
But that's phenomenal. I love that story. And we need to, and more veterans need to hear that story. That's truly a success story. And thank you for both of you also for your service. We normally say that right away, but both of you have been exemplary in what you've been doing. So very good.
And thank you both for your service.
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah,
thank you both.
They've done a great job and continue to.
Yes. So how can veterans help you out with this? I mean, is there anything that we can do? Advocate for anything or talk to you, or because there are a lot of people, veterans who have different things out there, and looking for things to do. I'm a VFW member post and post member, and also American Legion. But is there anything that we can do to spread the word or help make sure that people are aware of your programming?
So
sure.
Go ahead, Herb.
Yeah, sure. Our partnership is great. Some invitation maybe to some of the events that those guys might be having. Invite us, come over so we could talk and share some of this information with the veterans, because a lot of them don't have this information.
No.
So sometime in an informal setting would be great. We could share some of this information with them.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah. And I would like to add that veterans who are aware of our program oftentimes think that they're not eligible or entitled, and I would encourage all of your listeners today to apply. Mr. Morris gave the 1-800 number. I'll repeat it, 1-800-827-1000. There's another website called benefits.va.gov. Apply for the benefit and meet with one of our talented professional vocational rehabilitation counselors and let them explain the program to you in detail. You might be surprised that you are eligible and entitled to the program, and it can really benefit you. And oftentimes we hear when we go out and talk to veterans that they just didn't think that they were eligible or entitled, and when we talk to them, we find out they are. So don't be afraid to apply.
Yeah, never make that assumption that you're not eligible. Always apply and go through the process. And the council will help you through that process.
Give that number once more.
1-800-827-1000.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah.
And then you said